Hi, I'm Tage for Post Chat.
And I'm Jesse here at the Avid booth. We are with Jonathan Lane and Josh Young.
Welcome to the
guys
show,
doing?
guys.
Doing well.
Thank you.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about yourselves.
I'm a film editor or television editor. I work on a lot of different reality shows. Currently, right now, I'm working on Ready for Love for NBC, which actually premieres tonight, which everybody's really excited about it. I work on Big Brother during the summer. Done Extreme Makeover Home Edition, Bachelor. Just finished up Biggest Loser a few months ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of reality stuff.
Yeah. So you're probably dealing with a lot of footage then.
Deal with a lot of footage,
Yeah.
a lot of different formats. I actually have a little post studio also called the Den Recorders. We do everything from like big shows to pitching, like pilots and films and commercials, pretty much anything we want, because we don't have 15 systems set up. Right. We only have a couple. So we get a lot more different kinds of formats in there that we have to sit there and play with and things like that. So yeah, a lot of different formats.
Wow. So you're doing that on top of the day job.
Yes. Yeah. Weekends.
I feel so lazy.
That sounds so good.
Yeah.
And what is it you do, John?
I'm the Director of Business Development of Atrium Music, which is a really high-quality music library for TV, film, and commercial use. Basically, I handle all pitching, placing. I do some A&R. I just kind of do everything. So
It's great.
So since you're dealing with different formats and like maybe 200 to 1 footage, what's some of your workflows? How are you?
It's I love the idea of workflow because I like starting a project and beginning with the end in mind, right? So when it becomes to assistant editors or you're talking to your post-production supervisor, whoever's in charge, kind of sitting around brainstorming. It's like, okay, we're going to shoot in this format, but what is the end result going to be? Right. Is everybody going to shoot the same frame rate? Is everybody going to, how is that all going to work? So by the time you get to your online sessions, you're not sitting there going, this is not going to work.
Right.
And that's where it ends up really costing a lot of money. So all the way from the beginning, I really like starting to talk about the setup, how everything's going to be organized. To me, the Avid, how Avid is set up is so important, to the way that where your music is, to where the graphics are, to where the editors are accessing stuff, So just talking about it and getting people on board from the very beginning, to me, is always really, really important.
Yeah. And what's a good starting point for you? Do you try to go native, or are you already anticipating the deliverable?
It depends on what part of the process I'm involved in. Some shows I go on as a supervising editor, so I'm there before they even start shooting. I get to really be a part of the setup, which I love.
You're fixing it in pre.
Right. And in some cases I get to be on set, which it's amazing because you can sit there and like direct green screen stuff and be like, ooh, and you just make sure this fixed. That's a rarity, but I love doing that. Some shows I just go on in the middle and it's already a mess, and so you have to kind of be delicate. And I've done it before. It's like, hey, if you guys do this, you might have to not work as hard. And they're like, oh my gosh, we never thought of that. So to me, it just depends. But yeah, I love getting in the beginning and just really talking through it and setting it up from there.
Yeah.
So you basically offline, then go straight online in color, all in Avid?
For the most part, yeah. For some shows, maybe they'll color in a different system, but I love coloring in Symphony, and it just makes it easy. It's like you're in Avid, you stay in Avid, and you finish in Avid. To me, that always makes sense.
Right.
So.
And you've become a little bit of a master when it comes to the whole tapeless workflow now? Or?
I don't know if anybody's really a master anymore. I mean, everything's changing so fast that, I was walking around looking at some of the other booths and seeing like all the different tape systems and how are you backing up and what is the redundancy and what is the resolutions and like how are you getting back to online resolution, and just things are changing so fast, and I think as little as I can, I'm just walking around trying to stay up with what's going on.
Right.
So like, what's the new best thing? What's the new codec? What are people doing? So when we get into a situation with like a new camera or something else, we know how to handle it.
Right.
It's like there's so many formats of everything.
Right. Do you guys still back up to tape at any point, or?
In the very beginning when things started going tapeless, I really was like sketchy about the idea of like, wait, there's no tape?
Yeah.
Like what do you mean
what
there's
if
no
something
tape?
happens, right? Like, how do I get it?
So I've actually been in a situation, I try to back up. I was doing a film a couple years ago and I had my master hard drive and I had my backup hard drive.
Right.
The master hard drive started to go. We immediately went to the backup hard drive. The backup hard drive was already gone. So I lost both hard drives and we were mixing and we were a day away from finishing the mix and the hard drives, both of them went. So as much as you can, things are going to happen, but I think it's so important to just be so organized to know, okay, here's my master drive, here's my backup drive, and just pay attention to what's going on. I think that ends up being the smartest thing you can do. So
how have you? This is kind of a loaded question, but how are you archiving, digitally? Have you found any kind of?
I was looking at that downstairs also. Like I'm really interested in finding. I love the ISIS. As a big production company, you can do all your mirroring drives and everything. But as a smaller production company, right now, literally we're on G drives or G Tech drives, and I'll do a master drive that I work off with Avid. I'll do a media drive where I'll import all the files from. And a lot of times I'll just do a backup drive. I'll keep my projects and users on a separate drive also, and then every other day or so I'll back those up, just to make sure, one, I can archive them, two, nothing's going to happen.
Right, redundancy.
I just try to do the best I can.
Yeah.
So, but if I could get more storage, I would mirror everything 10 times.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if you've had a time to check it out, but Pro Tools 11 has just launched, and it's been completely revamped. It's 64-bit now.
Right.
I mean, are you excited about that? Or?
Yeah. No, I'm totally stoked. I'm always excited for the next thing that's going to come out, especially when it comes to Pro Tools. That's something that I'm more I'm more associated with. So every single announcement that comes out of Avid, I'm stoked about.
For anybody that wants to, I'm always available for questions. So cool. I encourage people to hit me up on Facebook or Twitter too.
Nice. What's your Twitter handle?
Atrium Music Josh is Twitter. I did the Avid after school sessions, so that was a really great experience too, where students got to write questions in, and then we would do a video back and answer those questions. So
nice.
I still get a lot of those students that write me emails, ask me questions like, what about this? And I'll go back and forth with them. So I like to be involved with people, so please encourage people to do that too.
Your possible future employers.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. Yeah, please. Ask me the questions, hit me up. I'm very accessible.
Do you often get students by? Because in the music house that we used, we had students would come in and they would actually work at night because they get to use the studio. And then one of them actually turned out and they got a record label and they were gone.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. So
that's awesome.
Do you mentor students as well?
Yeah, absolutely. We have interns that I work with. Like I have an intern right now who's pulling a bunch of music, and we have intern opportunities all the time. We're all about education, basically, for the whole entire company. Like, actually, right now we have somebody in the editing bay who's, while it's not actually being rented out and in use, who's just there to learn, and that's something that we offer, as a friend. So we're always having students come in. We're always trying to educate, and yeah, that's something that we definitely do. So
that's a great thing you guys are doing for the community and
Thank you.
Keeping it in.
So one last question, because I've got a little hair envy. What's the product going on here? You guys all I'm really jealous of this.
Well,
no.
We're from LA, so no.
There you go. Yeah.
You want me to answer that?
No,
Okay.
it's not a real question. No, yeah.
It's because we're rock stars.
Want to wrap us out, Todd?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining us on Post Chat.
Thank you, guys.
I'm Tage.
And I'm Jesse, and we need a bigger boat.